I didn't feel anything inside my heart. I didn't get that feeling. Hey you guys, welcome to my channel, CrayDre, where it's okay to be Cray. Be yourself. Don't ever feel like you can't be how you feel in that moment, because I'm going to be how I feel in this moment. So you guys, we're going to be reviewing Scream, and I got some stuff to say. And we just going to get into it. Ooh, you guys, I love tea. I love tea. Y'all, I grew up watching Scream, like watching Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4. Like, I can quote these movies like almost from beginning to end. It's actually concerning how much I know the script. Scream is Scream for a few reasons. It has a formula that is followed. You got an intro scene. The intro scene is what draws you in. Another thing, the script is going to be so good. The script is a foundation of what Scream. It's what makes it so clever and so witty. It's because of that script. It's a whodunit movie, so you have a variety of characters, and they're supposed to have something to them. You're supposed to care about these characters. It's like a mystery. The monologue, it's the uncovering of the killer. Scream is like a scary movie, but it's like a love letter to horror films, and it makes it clever and funny and witty and scary all at the same time. And I feel like that's what makes Scream. So this movie is directed by Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett. I really didn't know their work. I've never really seen a movie by them. I did know they directed Ready or Not, and that was the only reason why I thought the movie was going to be like good, because that movie looked good. I didn't see that movie, but I could tell it was going to be a good movie. I could just see it. The critics were raving about it. That doesn't always mean it's a good movie. I had this internal feeling like, I think this Scream actually might be good. And I was getting nervous, like I was going to get bad news or something. I just was so scared, I think, of the movie being bad. Unfortunately, I don't think I liked it as much as I thought I was going to like it. I'm going to tell you guys what I liked about the movie, and I'm going to tell you guys what I did not like about the movie, and then we can just go from there. So this movie is starring Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox. We have Jenna Ortega. I've never heard of her. I believe her name is Ortega. Melissa Barrera, just to name a few people that I noticed in this movie. I went into this movie blind. You guys, I did not watch the trailer. Once again, I'm keeping this up. I'm not playing. Every time it came on, I was like, la, 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 la. I had my head down. I did not want to know anything, because I'm trying to keep this thing going, because I'm completely surprised. When that trailer was released, it was so hard for me not to watch it. And I feel good. I feel proud. Let me tell you guys what I loved about this movie. I loved the intro scene. The intro scene was really good. I felt the acting was really good. I felt a little bit of, the reminiscent of the script and the voice. I like that a lot. Another thing that I liked about the movie, so I did like the script a lot. Like, the script was really good. It was a really good script. I was like, like it was so good. So I actually felt like that was one of the things that drew me into the movie. Really liked how the script also stayed current with times. Like, it was very modern. It was very today. Made a more realistic feeling to our world. I was like, that's Scream. That's the script. There we go. There's a good monologue in this movie that I just love. It's like really good. I love it. And it's more so because the content of that monologue. Something that I really did like about the movie was that it was really clever. Like, it was kind of aware of itself at times. Taking the rules of all of the movies of Scream and of stab movies, I loved how aware of itself it was. So I think this movie takes itself seriously at times, and then at times it kind of pulls off of it and relaxes, if you will. And you guys, another thing that I loved watching Dewey, Gale, and Sydney on the screen again. It almost felt like family, like it was like a family bond. Now, I think I loved watching them interact, and just even knowing that they were in this film, I think that was really comforting to see. It's just really cool to see that they're all still like alive and still working and still doing this. And just thinking about the previous films, I'm like, man, like it's It's a cool thing. Something that I really thought was cool about this movie, you guys. The movie like humanizes the main characters, Sydney, Dewey, and Gale. It gives them a level of humanism, and you feel like they're normal people living normal lives, even though they're captured in this story. I feel like this movie definitely humanizes them and makes them seem like an everyday average person. Something that took me by surprise, this movie is like brutal. It's like it's very violent, but I remember feeling that same exact way when Scream 4 came out. And I remember thinking like, I'm not used to this being so bloody, so gutsy. You know, Scream movies, they don't have a lot of, it's blood, but it's not like blood and guts. It's not like, you know, you're not seeing blood and guts jump out of the body. And this movie, you know, it's gory. You know, it also had this feeling that like no one is safe. It was just like anybody could die at any time, and it felt like nobody was off the table. It just goes there. People just start dying, and there's some deaths that you're gonna be like, I mean, that's how I was. I was like, oh, like people were dying that I didn't think were gonna die. It definitely had that shocking factor to it. And I could not tell who was gonna be next at all. That added just a little bit of excitement to it, but like this big level of fear at the same time, because you did not know who was gonna be next. Another thing that I loved watching Ghostface get like sensationalized. This one has like some artistic shots of Ghostface, like from different angles that I just never thought I would see him. The way that the mask looks and the way that he looks at this movie, there are some scenes I'm like, oh, he looks good. That looks good. Like Ghostface got kind of a little bit scary in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. It was sometimes I was like, I wasn't really scared per se, but I was like, oh, it's taking like a turn, like for something more darker than I think I've ever seen Scream to be. The music was cool. There were a few times in the movie that the music was playing and it had nods to like the previous film. So I did like that a lot. I really did like how the movie goes back to the original. There are some parts of this movie that has that original tone, that like that feeling of the original, the feeling of the first one. And it's really cool too when you actually feel it there. Let me tell you guys what I did not like about the movie. Characters were so flat. These characters were so boring. They were so flat. They were so one-dimensional. And I felt like there wasn't a lot of character development. So when they started to die and when things started to happen to them, you didn't care. It was just like, oh my God, he's being stabbed. But it was like kind of shocking watching. I was like, oh man, oh crap, oh. Like I did not like the third act of this movie. I liked certain parts of it. I didn't hate all of it, but I felt like the big showdown, uncovering of the villains, who done it, the monologue, I felt like I was like really not sold by it completely. I was like kind of annoyed a little bit because I want to feel it. There was no feeling in that third act. I didn't feel it. So I just kind of felt like lifeless a little bit, just lying there, you know. Another thing I did not like, usually when I watch a Scream movie, I'm obsessed about the monologue. All I have to do is hear it one time and I'm like, ooh. And this one, I can barely remember the monologue. This monologue is not hitting like the other monologues. I mean, let's face it, your mother was no Sharon Stone. You know, and let's face it, baby, it's phase. You gotta have a sequel. Duh. I didn't get none of that. I didn't get no, you need to really deal with your trust issues. I mean, poor Derek, he was so innocent. He was bright and funny and handsome. He had the voice. He was going to be a doctor. This was the kind of guy you like to bring home to mom if you had a mom. I was ready for that. I was so good, wasn't I? I told so many lies that I actually started to believe them. I really believe I was made for this. Like, I was ready for, like, some crazy, like, the monologue. It did not hit the way it was supposed to. Oh my God, that is so good. Oh my God, that's too good almost. That's too good. And another thing I didn't really care for too much was the music. The music, there are certain parts in the movie where the music is good, but I don't know. I just didn't get that same Scream feeling when I watch a Scream movie. What I did not like about the movie, but it's like literally what is like irking at me the whole time, I didn't feel like I was watching a Scream movie. Like, even though I kept seeing Ghostface popping up, it just was not like that same like Scream vibe. I almost had to keep reminding myself that I was watching Scream because I wasn't getting that same like exciting feeling. And this is the biggest reason why I didn't like this movie. It has no life. It has no life. It was like it had everything in a recipe, but something was missing. Like, it was kind of mentally confusing because I'm seeing things and I'm like, ooh, that's Scream. Ooh, that Scream. Ooh, that Scream. Ooh, that Scream. Ooh, that Scream. But like, I didn't feel anything inside my heart. I didn't get that feeling. It was more so, if anything, I feel like I was getting it from my memories of the previous movies. Watching it as a whole package, it's lacking that luster. The luster that made Scream so good, and it's missing that. It just did not have that same life and zeal and zest that the originals had. It just kind of felt like meh. It's so evident that Wes Craven didn't direct this movie. And that could be a compliment or that can be an insult, depending on how you want to take that. So out of 5 red velvets, you guys, I'm going to rate this movie 3 red velvets out of 5. I'm giving 3 red velvets because I do see the effort that you guys definitely took this movie and you kind of did throw your own little flavor in there. I see that there were so many nods, all the love letters to the original films. I cannot deny that. And I cannot deny that Matt and Tyler did something cool with this movie. That cannot be denied. That cannot be taken away. However, I just felt like for me, it just did not stick completely. It was just something missing from it that I just felt like made it forgettable. And unfortunately, I don't think I will be rushing to watch this movie again. I say you guys go check it out. If you guys have not seen it, go see it. You guys comment in the comment section if you guys like the movie. Did you not like it? And for the horror Scream fans, did you guys like the movie or not? I'm still going to encourage you guys to do not watch the trailers when you want to go see a horror movie. Do not watch. Just don't. Whoa. Thank you for watching this video, you guys. You guys like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. You guys stay safe. And I'll see you guys for another video.